Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host MoZoneMo, and today we are finally breaking down the Cobra Kai Season 4 trailer. I know it's been long overdue, and we finally got it. If you haven't seen my reaction to the trailer, just click above me, probably over here. Let's get into the trailer. We're breaking it down scene by scene. So the trailer opens up with a shot of Johnny's badass mixtape, and that is the number 4. So the first shot we have is Johnny Lawrence tying up his headband, and he's got training gloves on, pretty cool. And then we see a shot of Daniel LaRusso talking to Amanda about Cobra Kai and getting him out of the valley. Amanda, I feel sorry for her. She always has to drink to deal with these karate maniacs and deal with her husband, Ralph Macchio.
Shut it, Ralph Macchio.
Here's a pretty cool scene. We have Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso bowing in front of each other at Miyagi dojo. It's cool. First time we've seen Johnny Lawrence train in the dojo. That is Miyagi-Do. And as you see, you got the students here, a mixture of Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang. You see the favorites, Dimitri, Miguel, which is actually wearing the same top as this, but obviously mine's a hoodie. His is a red t-shirt. Mine's a green hoodie. All right, it's not the same. It's just got the same logo. So basically, I am Miguel, or I could be Miguel. I could be Miguel's brother. That'd be pretty cool. Hey, John Hurwitz, if you're watching the video, hello. I'd like to be in Cobra Kai, please. Thanks. And then we have Sam and Hawk. And in the back, you've got Bert and Nathan. Pretty cool. Good to see them come back. They're looking a lot older than what they did at season 1. So our next scene is on top of a rooftop. You know, you've got Miyagi-Do guys that are on top of this roof being trained by Johnny. He is getting them to jump off onto mattresses, basically. A bit similar to how we saw on season 2 in the concrete, and he's making them, you know, run in the concrete mixer. Sam doesn't look too happy, neither does the other Miyagi-Do guys. But you know what? Johnny probably make them jump and probably break their legs. Here is a very cool scene. You got Johnny and Daniel. Daniel says to Johnny, "We're going to get sued here." Johnny says, "Sue me for what?"
Sue me for what?
Which is actually a line from Rocky 5.
Sue me for what?
Cool Easter egg put in by the creators. So here we have Dimitri getting beaten up. He's tied to the bag. This is probably some conditioning training. Dimitri never really liked training with Johnny. That's the reason he left Cobra Kai. So here is an awesome shot. You have Daniel LaRusso teaching his arch nemesis, Johnny Lawrence, the wax on, wax off technique from the original Karate Kid. If that's not cool, I don't know what is. I believe Johnny is in the pond on the balancing platform. Next, we have Johnny spitting in his hand to shake Danny LaRusso's. And here we are. We have our first shot of Cobra Kai, Sensei Kreese. He says they are combining their styles to beat us.
They are combining their styles to beat us.
And then we get a very cool shot of an Eagle Fang, Johnny Lawrence in his Eagle Fang t-shirt, and on his knuckles pushing up Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio.
This reminds me of the scene they did in season 3 when Johnny and Daniel worked together and they, you know, started beating up people. So here, working on some reaction training, very cool. I think on Daniel LaRusso's chest, it says Macho. Maybe it's just like a little Easter egg for Macchio.
Macchio.
Now we see Kyler, he's not in a karate gi, but Tori and the other 2 Cobra Kai guys are. This is probably where Kyler transitions fully and gets his Cobra Kai gi. And here we see running the show is Robbie. Here is interesting. Kreese is walking up to a very, very nice house. You know, palm trees, nice windows everywhere, which says one thing. Terry Silver, which is the person he's going to meet, still has a lot of money because, you know, to afford a house like that on the beach, pretty expensive. Terry Silver still has money. He didn't lose it, so keep that in mind. Now, Kreese is looking for someone to help teach Cobra Kai, and Terry Silver, still very stylish, you know, very clean cut, long silver hair. I won't call it grey because he'd probably kick me in the face. And here is a cool shot. Takes his shoes off. He comes back to Cobra Kai. Kreese is in his black gi with the yellow accents. Perfect shot here Terry Silver still able to kick head level at his age. Does that mean he's continued to train? The scene where he is punching Kreese, and then the next scene, they're not the same. The scene of just Terry Silver, he's quite clearly in his loungewear, in his pajamas, in his house. Cobra Kai new training gear, probably funded by Terry Silver. Terry Silver now in his new gi, with Kreese in a gi as well, and then all the other students are in training gear. So we've got, you know, Tori and Robbie at the front with Kyler now. He's in Cobra Kai gear. The girl in the foreground here, a lot of people think it's Piper, Moon's girlfriend. So that's quite important. Terry Silver says, I just want to make sure this time we win.
I just want to make sure this time we win. Obviously,
Karate Kid 3, they had Mike Barnes, Karate Kid's bad boy. But this time, Terry Silver is coming back with a vengeance. He wants that. You know, he wants it. He wants to win. More, you know, traditional karate uniform. You see the guy in the foreground here with the dreads. He was also in the previous shot in the red and black training gear. And Robbie is actually teaching them, if you look at their hands, he's teaching them the same block that Johnny Lawrence was just learning from Daniel a few moments ago. And he goes to Tori, says, show me wax on, wax off. She's learning wax on, wax off. And I think this might just give Cobra Kai the upper hand, having Miyagi-Do's secrets. I think this is super disrespectful of Robbie here. I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about this. Not good, because I think Robbie, that's not cool. Not cool, Robbie. Not cool, buddy. Robbie says, it's good to know the enemy's playbook.
It helps to know the enemy's playbook.
Obviously, he literally knows the playbook because he was, you know, season 1 was reading the Miyagi-Do book. So, yeah. You see, Kreese here has got a bag. So, and we see the snake from season 3 too. Two things. Kreese could be leaving here, but that corridor leads to the training room at the back, which we saw season 3 conclude in. Speaking of that training room, here we are. So Terry Silver is in a different gi than what he was, because he's got the yellow accents on the sleeves and a black gi, which is really cool. And he is training Robbie. Robbie tries to sweep the leg here, which is a classic Cobra Kai move. Obviously, Terry Silver knows how to dodge it. And he ends up striking Robbie. I think here Robbie gives Terry Silver some well-due respect after flooring him with little to no effort. And Robbie gets back up. We see Daniel, Johnny, and Miguel looking out of Miyagi-Do to the entrance of Miyagi-Do Karate Dojo to Terry Silver and John Kreese. And then we get some flashbacks to when Daniel LaRusso made himself bleed by punching the woods in Karate Kid 3. Here we go. So this scene of Terry Silver and John Kreese, I'm predicting that they face off against, you know, the three, Johnny, Daniel, and Miguel. I suspect Robbie is with these guys. Remember, Johnny Lawrence has never ever met Terry Silver. Probably only heard about him in stories from John Kreese. And John Kreese, back to his manipulative self, talking to Johnny Lawrence. He's basically getting under Johnny's skin and saying, you know, you're not meant to be a number 2. You're not a number 2 guy. How are you letting Daniel LaRusso, of all people, and Johnny Lawrence, if you look at his t-shirt, he's wearing something still with fangs, which is pretty cool. Okay, here we go. So in the background here, we can see Hawk, you can see Assface, and here's that balancing platform that Johnny Lawrence was training on earlier. From here, you see the focus go from Miguel to Johnny Lawrence in the trailer. Miguel is so focused with Daniel, learning, you know, new Miyagi-Do tricks and secrets, that Johnny Lawrence might get a bit jealous, which we actually do see in the bar scene. Cobra Kai wouldn't be Cobra Kai without his bar scenes, and here Johnny doesn't look too happy. They've quite clearly had like a bump in the road, probably after speaking to Kreese and Terry Silver. Johnny Lawrence is probably feeling a little down, and he just, you know, he wants to be at the bar, drink alcohol, forget about his issues. And Daniel LaRusso, as always, is always trying to, you know, pick up the spirits. And he says, I just want what's best for Miguel.
Just want what's best for Miguel and all of your students.
Not a great thing considering the jealousy levels are on the rise.
So now you know what's best for Miguel.
And next we have that scene, quite clearly at prom or homecoming. These guys are all in Cobra Kai. So the girl on the right, the one with the afro hair, I believe it is Piper. And then we see Sam and Miguel have a romantic dance before, of course, we get the main couple, Tori and Robbie, which, you know, if we could have a homecoming queen and king, these two would probably get it. Sam and Miguel don't look too happy, kind of awkward, just like any teenage drama, I suppose. So here we see that same bar scene. Daniel LaRusso is clearly telling Johnny about Terry Silver and how he is a menace, and he says the line,
Strike first with this guy.
and here's an interesting part. So we're in a store, lots of cereal and toilet roll in the background. Danny and Terry Silver talking to each other. Terry Silver says, you don't want to admit that there's always been a little bit of Cobra Kai in you.
You just don't want to admit there's always been a little Cobra Kai in you.
Now this is a direct relation to Karate Kid 3, because, you know, Daniel wanted to win so much, he even ended up joining Cobra Kai. It's always been a little bit of, you know, temptation on Daniel's part. Here we go. So this room that Daniel LaRusso is training in with his Miyagi-Do gi in the background, the wall on the left looks very similar to the wall that Terry Silver was just in. So maybe Daniel LaRusso and Terry Silver actually have a little fight in the Miyagi-Do dojo. Here we have that Miyagi-Do gi I was talking about with all the Eagle Fang and all the Miyagi-Do students training together. And here is a very cool scene. We see Miguel jump rope with a huge chain. We have Tori taking someone down in Cobra Kai dojo. Here we have Robbie and Daniel finally see each other again, and they're in that same store that Terry Silver and Daniel were just talking. You can tell by, you know, the literally the same cereal. And Robbie says something pretty cool here. He says, everybody thinks their way is the only way.
Everybody thinks their way is the only way.
So Miyagi-Do, Eagle Fang, they think, you know, especially Miyagi-Do, karate is defense only, you know, whereas Cobra Kai thinks, you know, you got to strike first. So they all think their separate ways are set in stone. And here we have, pretty cool, in the background we can see like an audio interface, probably for music, because who loves to train with loud rock music? Johnny Lawrence. So he's obviously brought some gear with him to play some music. The scene with Miguel jumping rope is actually in the same warehouse. Johnny Lawrence is in his gi training his students. This could mean that they split off eventually and start training in different dojos. Next scene, we see bird's eye view of Kyler fighting Robbie. This scene here is when Kyler first walks in from earlier, and Robbie is probably, you know, seeing if Kyler is Cobra Kai worthy. This is a really nice scene. We finally got to see Mr. Miyagi's grave and a really nice bonsai tree. The bonsai tree is, you know, still alive and pruned really well. This indicates that someone's looking after it. Probably Daniel coming, you know, to look after the bonsai tree and pay respects to Miss Miyagi. Next, we have a scene with Carmen and Johnny and Miguel. They're probably, you know, speaking to Miguel about how they are, you know, getting it on, and it might be pretty awkward for Miguel, and he might feel like Johnny is sort of not betraying him, but might just feel a bit uneasy about it all, which of course is fair enough when, you know, your sensei is smacking your mama's. Here we have the new kid, Kenny. He's walking into high school here, all the kids laughing at him. Maybe some event outside has happened, maybe some social media, something, and this is his turning point, and this is why he's going to go to Cobra Kai. It's not on the same day. This is probably him getting bullied one day. Maybe the next day he goes to Cobra Kai. He's in different clothes. Still the same backpack, but different t-shirt and hoodie. And here you can see Kreese in the background. Here we see Hawk face off against new Kenny and Robbie. Robbie's looking very serious. He's super confident. You can just tell that he feels he is the best fighter out of all the students across any dojo, which I suppose right now you could definitely agree with him. And Kenny, he's looking at Hawk. From a previous trailer, we saw Hawk push Kenny against the wall. Here we also see Miguel is there with Hawk. This is quite clearly a face-off between Eagle Fang, Miyagi-Do against Cobra Kai. And then we hear a voice, and it's Terry Silver's voice, say, "No fighting until the tournament."
No fighting until the tournament.
This could be straight from the board meeting, and the agreement is, look, we can go ahead with this tournament if you guys do not fight and don't start fights in school until this tournament. If you want to fight, save it for the tournament. That's basically what Terry Silver, I'm guessing, is trying to say here. Next to Miguel earlier, we actually see that standing next to him was Sam. This is quite clearly the big face-off, and this might actually lead to a fight in which we see Terry Silver say to his students,
No fighting until the tournament.
And then this is pretty cool. We see the two Cobra Kai senseis bow in front of each other. And now my personal favorite thing about this whole trailer, the Eagle Fang gi. It's a beautiful red gi, longer sleeves, black accents on the lapel. It is got Eagle Fang on the back. If you can buy this gi, I would buy it because it looks amazing. But you see these two, they look pretty focused. I don't think they look angry. I mean, they're quite clearly in their separate dojos. It might mean that although, yes, they're training together, they're not one dojo. They're still separate dojos, just learning from each other. And there we go. Cobra Kai Season 4. So you got the mat of the All Valley tournament, and they're voting for something that will revolutionize the tournament.
This proposal will revolutionize the tournament.
Now, I can make a whole video on this vote, this whole situation alone, and what they're voting for. But what they're voting for, that remains a question. It could be a few things. It could be finalizing the deal that whoever loses this valley has to leave. Like Watch Party says in his video, the introduction of kata to the tournament. It could be a sensei round, which I don't think is likely. Or it could mean we get a no disqualification round. But this, you know, I can make a whole video about that. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you watched this far, drop a subscribe. And please like the video if you've enjoyed it so far.
God help us all.
This could be because Cobra Kai is officially back. Maybe his reaction is, you know, Cobra Kai's back. They've got Terry Silver, so they've got funding. Or he's just a normal adult that is still surprised that these karate dojos are still fighting each other like it's the 1980s. And then we see the All Valley tournament, the announcer, you know, the judges in the background there. It's the 51st Karate Championship. You got some students in the back ready to perform some stuff. You got Robbie Keane in the middle doing a backflip here, and you have trophies mirrored either side of the judges with the main trophy in the middle. We get a cool superhero landing from Robbie Keane here. We see Eagle Fang in the background with their red new gis looking awesome. As you can see, red with black on the lapel. You see familiar faces like Bert, Assface, Miguel, whilst Sam is in her Miyagi-Do gi doing some form with some sais, which are a weapon of martial arts. And remember, Miyagi-Do actually does use weapons from Karate Kid, but also sais are present in Cobra Kai dojo, which is pretty cool too. Now, remember in the Olympics, karate has two tournaments. They have the kata side and they have the kumite, which is fighting. So maybe, you know, we're going to see that in this 51st Karate Championship All Valley tournament. And here we see something pretty cool. I don't think it is Miguel because his hair looks slightly different. Either way, someone from Eagle Fang is fighting someone from a different dojo. It doesn't look to be Cobra Kai or Miyagi-Do. Look at by the logo on his gi. But either way, he gets hit by this pretty cool spinning, jumping back kick. And there we have it, the Netflix logo with the date 31st of December, which is, of course, amazing. So guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. What did you think of it? Do you like me breaking down trailers? Do you want to see me break down more trailers of your favorite TV shows and movies? Let me know. This has been one of my favorite trailers to watch this year. So thanks for watching. I'm going to punch you with this fist to say goodbye. But first, make sure you like the video and subscribe. Wait there while I punch you. Bye.